Hello traders, welcome to my channel Traders Edge for Success. So in this video we will discuss about how to draw support and resistance on chart. So like this video and subscribe my channel for latest updates. So before we move ahead, let me clear that knowing where is support and resistance on chart is very important. So why it is very important? Because most of the winning trades are planned at that levels. And why we plan our trades at the certain levels such as support and resistance? Because institutions flow their liquidity at support and resistance level. So it is very important that you know how to determine support and resistance on chart. So for that, in this video we will see how to determine support line, resistance line, support trend line and resistance trend line area. So let me show you these certain levels on chart so you can determine this easily after that. So traders, now let's focus on drawing support and resistance lines and trend lines on chart. So let's take 1 hour time frame. So for 1 hour time frame, the lower low will be your support line. We change our time frame to 30 minutes. Then for 30 minutes, this lower low will be our support line. As we move closely, let's get back to the 15 minutes. So for 15 minutes, this will be our support line. So making a support line is easy on chart. You have to just grab the lower low portion of following trend. So now let's focus on 5 minutes. So if we see on 5 minutes, we will have two support zones or lines like first. So for 5 minutes, we get these two support lines. For 15 minutes time frame, we get this support line. So as for the different time frames, now we have our support lines on the chart. Same as way for the support trend line. Let's focus from 45 minutes time frame. So as per 45 minutes time frame, the high portion will be our resistance zones. So this will be our resistance line as per the chart. Let's focus on 15 minutes now. So for the 15 minutes, we can take the higher high of the structure. So this we can mark here as our resistance line. We can also mark here as our next resistance line. Moving closely, and for the 1 minute time frame, the resistance line will remain same, or we can mark down here as our resistance line. So now we have our resistance line with different time frames: 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes and 45 minutes. So technically now we have our support lines and resistance line for the following market. So now let's focus on support and resistance trend line in a similar way. Let's take 1 hour time frame. So for support trend lines, for trend lines I usually take ray. For support trend lines, we have to mark 2 points. Let's take this as a point 1. We cannot take this point as our point 2 because the price has already passed through the trend line. So we have to take our point 2 from where the price has not passed till. So we cannot take any of this lower low for our support trend line for the following market. So technically we can take point 2 over here because the price has not crossed the trend lines. So we got our first trend line on 1 hour time frame. So now let's see closer 5 minute time frame. We get our support trend line. We can take this as a point 1. We cannot take this lower low as point 2 because price has already crossed it. Here we can take it as our point 2 because price has not passed through this trend line. So this will be our support trend line for 5 minutes time frame. So we got our two support trend lines, support lines, resistance line. Now let's see about resistance trend line. For that let's look for 45-minute time frame. Perfect. So for resistance trend line we have to take the higher high point as a point 1. We cannot take these as our point 2 because price has already crossed. If we mark these as our point 2, not these, yeah, here we can take this as our point 2 because if this is point 1, this is point 2, so after that the price has never crossed this trend line. So this will be our resistance trend line for the following chart. Now let's come closer than this for 5-minute time frame. You can adjust it while you come closer. So for time 5 minutes we get this as a point 1. We cannot take this as a point 2 because price has already crossed. We can take this as our point 2 because price has not crossed this trend line yet. So we get this another resistance trend line for the following market. Let's come closer than this for 1 minute. So for 1 minute time frame, we can take this higher high as our point 1. We can take this higher high as point 2 because price is not crossed yet. So this will be our resistance trend line for 1 minute time frame. So marking accurate support and resistance lines and trend lines on chart is very important because here is where we plan our trades. So this is the easiest way I had shown you to how to mark support lines, trend lines, resistance lines and trend lines. And thank you for watching this video. Join us for more videos. Make your trading journey easy and simple.